first thing that a bridge overlay can do is that it makes your game look better. This can be as simple as a nicer texture for the clay, but can be as drastic as completely changing the color of the armor and blocks. Number 2 is that it can give you a competitive advantage against other bridge players. Overlays will change the top of the bridge to a different texture when you reach the height limit, letting you know that you can't build up from there, and also letting you know if you've reached the top of the bridge when you're bypassing, which will tell you if you need to go up or down, depending on the situation. Lastly, it can help you make sure your HUD is optimized. For example, this overlay swaps the arrow to a check mark when you have one, and an X when it's on cooldown. Also removes hunger because hunger isn't in the bridge. I've told you why bridge overlays are useful. Now let me show you the ones that I think you should use. First is kind of the original bridge overlay by Apple Pies. I think maybe the best reason to use this overlay is the amazing clay texture. It's really different from the usual clay texture, and it really just looks smooth. This texture pack also makes the arrows look like little beams of light, which makes it a lot easier to see them coming and dodge. Next is the buffeted drip overlay. The reason for using this overlay is if you want a brighter clay texture and a fun top layer. The disadvantage of using this overlay is you can't see the change in the top layer from below, which makes it worse for bypassing. I use a slightly edited version that does darken the bottom, but that is not part of the original overlay. Lastly is speed toggles. It's very clean, and I would recommend it as another overlay to cycle between. It's not too different from other overlays, but it's a really simple option that does its job really well. I don't have a favorite between these three, but if I had to pick, I think I'd say Apple Pies. It's so simple and does everything really, really well. Oh, one last thing before the outro. I think that God bridging one level below the top layer and then jumping up and seeing that change, I just think that's amazing. You should it's great. I love it.